Hello, everybody, and welcome to our impromptu live stream on Accuvox. I've got Daniel here. Daniel's from our tech team at LA Security, one of our tech geniuses. If you've ever called for tech support, you might have talked to him before. He is a genius when it comes to security cameras and access control. Today, we're going to be talking about Accuvox, which is part of our access control lineup, but this is more focused on communication. We've got intercoms, we've got monitors, and a whole bunch of other awesome features to our Accuvox line that Daniel is going to tell us about today. First, before we get started, a couple of housekeeping features. If you are watching from YouTube and you want to leave a comment, we encourage you to do so. Give us your questions, your comments, your feedback, but keep in mind that you do have to be subscribed to us for at least 5 minutes before you can comment on YouTube. That's just to keep out the spam that we get quite a bit. So go ahead and subscribe now if you're not already, so that once you do have a question, you'll be ready to roll with those YouTube comments. Next, if you are watching this in our private dealer Facebook group, go ahead and click the link in the description or in the comments below, and it'll take you to the live streaming platform that we're using. You do need to let Facebook know. You need to give this app permission to use your Facebook profile, just so your name and your picture show up when you do ask a question and we throw it up on the screen. That's completely optional. You can still comment and ask questions if you don't do that. So that's about it. Without further ado, let's bring Daniel on. Daniel, you're live. How's it going?
Pretty good, Tyler. All right, so let's talk
Good.
Accuvox.
Yes, so why don't we start? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about Accuvox, and maybe some of the key features and the key use cases that someone might want to use Accuvox for.
All right, so like I just said, I'm Daniel, one of the techs here at Nelly's. And Accuvox is good anywhere that you need the security of, RFID, PIN codes. I think some of them even have facial recognition, but also the flexibility of being able to buzz someone in, like you have foot traffic, and this is, offices, warehouses. I've even seen it installed at churches. Yeah, anywhere you need that flexibility, Accuvox will be there.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. So what does the typical infrastructure of an Accuvox system look like? Like the different components of the system, if someone wants to use this for their access control system, what typically goes into an Accuvox intercom system?
Okay, so you do have a little bit of flexibility. So you have the access, like for the entry itself, that handles your, like I said, the cards or being buzzed in. You also have the option to have it ring to a mobile app and buzz someone in that way, as well as the tablets that we sell that go specifically for the Accuvox. And it can buzz into those, so you can have that in like an office or the bosses, or whatever, or your reception, to let someone in.
So what would you say is the importance of Accuvox to our customers who's, they're a security integrator, they're an installer, maybe they're already installing security cameras or alarm systems. What would you say that Accuvox intercoms helps with their businesses? Why would somebody like this choose Accuvox?
Well, if you're already installing cameras, the more options you have to sell, the better. The license that you would use for that would also still apply. And it's actually pretty simple to run the wiring and do all the setup. And if you do have any problems with that, that's what we're here for.
We've got People Systems. Am I saying that right? PIPL Systems. Hey there, how's it going? If you guys are watching this live on YouTube, go ahead and let us know where you're viewing from. We'd love to hear from you guys and see, where all of you are located. So let's keep talking about Accuvox a little bit. What kind of customers would you say this is best for? Let's say I'm a security integrator serving small to medium-sized businesses. What kind of customers would I want to sell this Accuvox equipment to?
So this
Yeah.
can work as a standalone product, or you can actually integrate it into like their existing access control. But like I mentioned before, anywhere you need to have that flexibility of being able to buzz someone in rather than having some, run to a secured door back and forth every so often, Accuvox would be key there.
Awesome. So now for the people that already install access control, maybe they have a ZK Techo system or PDK. At the risk of being redundant, having this intercom installed into, say, a ZK Techo reader, how easy is it to put this into their access control systems that are already existing instead of using this as a standalone access control system?
So it has the output, the weekend output, D1, D0, and ground is all you need to run, and it'll be good to go. You do need to flip a setting in the input on the Accuvox product, but it's straightforward and very simple.
How does user management work with that? That's something I've always been confused about. Let's say you have your users in your ZK Techo system and also your Accuvox system. Do those share users? Do you need to have them set up in the same way on both platforms? How does that work?
Well, so if you have them both together, you actually need to send all the users would be within the ZK Techo system itself. In this scenario, you would be more utilizing the Accuvox for the buzz in feature, so to speak, being able to let someone in with the push of a button.
You say most of our customers do this? Would they use access control within Accuvox itself as kind of a standalone unit, or do most people integrate this with their systems that they already have running?
It really depends on the situation. Like a lot of times, like in a single door access system, they will just use the Accuvox system, whether it's for a multi-tenant or a single tenant access, they'll have Accuvox on its own. But if they are going to be having multiple doors and there's just maybe this one door where they're going to need to be able to buzz people in, then they would integrate that Accuvox in with their current access control system.
Okay. Gotcha. Looks like we do have a question here on YouTube. I understand this system is fee-based after a 30-day trial in a multifamily apartment building of 18 units. Would the tenants be charged a fee to use the Accuvox service? My understanding is that is up to the integrator. Is that right?
So, yeah, for the most part, there is a fee for setting this up. I believe there's a yearly fee as well as depending on how many tenants or how many people within like that apartment are going to be needing access to the mobile phone. Yeah, that really you would have to ask your installer for that though, like on the pricing.
Gotcha. So, yeah, speaking of multifamily apartment buildings, what would that system typically look like? Because we've got our multi-tenant reader to put out front, but we also have monitors. We also have individual intercoms. What does that typically look like?
Yeah, so most people in this scenario I've seen have utilized the mobile feature, but they would need to install either the R29 or I believe the X912 are the two models we have that would be for your multi-tenant setup. And those, yeah, you would have, they would have a list of all the different apartments, who's there, and even the individual people in those apartments, and they could press call and it would call them on their mobile app.
Yeah, so let's say I'm brand new to intercoms, and I'm also brand new to access control, but I want to start advertising and offering these products to my customers as an upsell. The next time I have a security camera installation, let's say at an office complex, I want to talk to the customer about implementing or upgrading their current intercom system as well. What products would you say someone in this situation would start with? Do you have any specific recommendations for model numbers or just general what to look out for starting products?
So the easiest setups are the single tenant. And I would probably say the R28 is one of our best sellers for Accuvox. It's simple to use. The wiring, we have all the diagrams you would need to integrate it with any kind of lock system. And if you need to integrate it with their system, we can help you with that as well if they already have one. But yeah, straightforward, simple, and if you do run into any problems, we'll get you taken care of.
Cool. And you mentioned wiring. Just then, how simple would you say it is to wire these systems?
Crazy simple. I mean, 2-3 wires, maybe more, 5-6 if you're going to end up having it as a reader for a secondary thing as well. But like I said, yeah, we have all the diagrams for any situation you could think of. We have it, and we'll get you taken care of.
Awesome. So what if the customer in this scenario that we're talking about, what if they have an old hardwired intercom system already installed? How easy is it to either integrate this with their current system or to fully replace their current system with an Accuvox system?
So that would really depend. So Accuvox is actually mostly network-based as far as it's talking, and cloud-based if you want to go that route for the mobile app. If they were to have like a current one, I believe there is a 2-wire setup that Accuvox offers, but unfortunately we do not carry that.
Gotcha. So let's say I'm sold, I'm ready to start selling Accuvox today. What do I need to do? Do I just hop on the Nelly's website, check out, or is there a process? What does that look like for new customers wanting to purchase an Accuvox system from us?
So first, our Accuvox products are only available to our dealers. But as long as you are a dealer, you can buy it. I would recommend calling in and let our salespeople kind of help you get all the things you need for your, from the Accuvox product itself to your locks, your power supplies, cards, things like that, to make sure that everything works properly and that everything will be good to go. And then after that, when it comes to the setup, that's where we come in.
So that's pretty much all the questions that I had for you. I'm gonna give some time for people who are watching that might have some more questions. But is there anything that you have to say about Accuvox that we haven't already talked about?
So I think one big thing is it doesn't, at least the products that we carry, don't support HID cards. And a lot of people, if they have their own pre-existing cards, they go to scan them and it doesn't work and they don't really know what's going on. So I think it's one of the big ones. But other than that, Accuvox, yeah, it's an awesome product, an awesome setup. It's fairly easy to do. And yeah, especially if you already have experience installing security cameras, the wiring will be much easier, and the configuration, once you get the hang of it, it's fairly simple as well.
Cool. Yeah, well, anybody who is watching this live, feel free to comment your questions below. If you have any questions about Accuvox. In the meantime, I do have, let's see if I can pull this up. There we go. So we're now looking at our website. This is, you mentioned, I believe you said the R20A. It's one of our best sellers in this line. Is that right?
Yep.
Cool. So we're looking at the R20A product page right now. Make this a little bit bigger. And you can see, like we mentioned, these products are only for dealers, so you can't see the price. You can't add this to your cart unless you're logged in with your dealer account. So if you're not a dealer, highly recommend you to check that out, nellysecurity.com/dealers. If you are a security professional, if you install security cameras, if you resell security cameras, access control, alarms and automation, anything like that, Nelly Security's dealer program is really going to take your business to the next level. We have a ton of features, a ton of services to offer. And again, if you want to purchase Accuvox from us, you do have to be a dealer. So
one thing I forgot to add, these are actually OnViv compatible. So if you have a security system and you want to be able to have the recordings from this, because it does have a 2-megapixel camera, you can add that right to your system as long as it has on-off compatibility, and yeah, have that recording as well, kind of like some of our doorbell features that we used to have.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great feature. So this really is kind of it integrates with your system on several different fronts: your access control,
Yep.
your video surveillance. What other products would you say are some of our best sellers? Maybe which monitor do we sell the most of? Do you know?
Probably the C315, I think, is the one that we sell the most of.
So let's check this out. And what exactly do the monitors do? Obviously, they're going to link up with your intercoms. You can have video chats from your monitor. What else can these monitors do?
So you can monitor the tablets, whether you're in a call or not. You can monitor any of your, like the R20As or any of the other products that we sell. You can watch that video feed. You can also, I believe, add up to 4 cameras into it, although you need to use the RTSP stream. So if you wanted to monitor other cameras or have it like at a reception desk, and they can monitor some like access points as well as receive calls if need be.
Cool. And how does the calling work? I know you can somehow connect this up to be able to call either a monitor like this, or like if you have a desk phone at your front desk or someone's cell phone. How is that possible?
Okay, so if you're just doing a local setup, like if you don't want to involve the cloud, it would actually all be done via IP addresses, which I would definitely recommend putting them on statics for that reason. But once you set all this up in the between the 2 devices, you just you hit the button, it'll ring right here on this monitor, and you'll be good to go. Now, if you're doing a cloud setup, it's a little different, but at the end of the day, like, that's all that your user is going to see. It's a little bit of configuration different, but yeah, they just press the button, and it'll be right there. And they can press a button to unlock the door and let them in.
Perfect. Do you have an idea, maybe a rough percentage, if someone's setting up an Accuvox system, would most people use both the intercoms and the monitors, or do most people use just the intercoms with, I don't know, maybe the mobile app?
I'd say like 98% of the people use the intercom as well as the indoor monitor.
Okay.
And then I'd say like 80% also do the mobile app, but yeah, usually almost all of them you see at least one monitor, if not multiple, because it will ring to all of them. If you have this in multiple spots, maybe you have your reception, maybe at the boss's desk, somewhere else, and also, the owner's phone, like any of those people would be able to answer the call and let whoever needs to be in.
Cool. Wish that's a good time to switch over to this R29S, which, since this is multi-tenant, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say you have it connected to each of those monitors and all those different places that you just mentioned. From this unit, someone will be able to go into like a phone directory, right, and select which individual person or room or office or apartment they want to call.
Yeah, so everybody connected via the mobile app, and every tablet would all be considered a contact within the list, and you would be able to select a specific user to call them on the R29, or you can just have a speed dial and it calls everybody. Like it calls everybody, first person to answer. We'll let them in and get them taken care of.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. These are some really great products. I feel like they haven't gotten as much love as they deserve from our content. We definitely need to make some more Accuvox content soon. And in fact, we have a video lined up. Is it for the C315? I'll have to double check, but we definitely have some more Accuvox content lined up coming up in the future. But yeah, Daniel, thank you so much for being on here today to talk about Accuvox, to educate us, get us excited for the products. Before we end, is there any last words you have to share?
If you aren't using Accuvox, it's simple to use, simple to install, and if you're already installing security cameras, I mean, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, it just makes sense. It's such a good upsell. It's such a good, like we said, it connects with your video surveillance system. It connects with your access control system. There's no reason not to at least give it a try, right?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be doing these more often, maybe about once a week, once every other week. So definitely be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss our next live video. And of course, these are all going to be on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch anytime. If you guys have any questions after this recording, feel free to leave that in a comment below this video, or send us an email, customerservice@nlesecurity.com, and we'll get you taken care of. We love helping you guys out. These guys, Daniel and the tech team, know these products inside and out, so definitely try to stump them, try to ask them the hardest questions you can, and we'll definitely take care of you. So thank you guys again for watching. Daniel, thanks for being a part of this.
Glad to be here.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Just take care.